Hey YouTube, this is David, back again for another quick review. I'm using the headset now because I think this is what can help me overcome my little audio issue that I was experiencing with some other videos. This is going to be a rant on a movie, as you can see from the title, but it's even going to be more of a rant in as much as, well, because I've already done it. That's right, I ran it for about 57 minutes on this movie, but the audio was so horrible and I'm having trouble using my little publishing program here that I'm really going to be mad about having to do it again. The only reason I was doing this review is because I, went to the movies, and so was going to review it, like I'm doing all these little channel.
But now I'm really ticked because if there's a movie yet that I've watched that isn't even worth it, it's this one. I was really disappointed with what I saw last night at the movie theater. I still can't really believe it. It was kind of a surreal experience for me. I know Schwarzenegger was in End of Days. I watched that movie, I think. I'm not sure. I know I've seen parts of it, but that was the closest thing. I thought that I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like seeing him in this kind of movie. And now I've just seen him go full bore into darkness again with this junk that I saw last night. I went on for 57 minutes about this movie. I'm going to try and make it shorter this time if I possibly can. If I have to talk fast, I will. Here goes. This movie was not what I was expecting, first things first. I wanted to see a good old-fashioned action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And again, to me, in my mind, I got to explain, there's action. A lot of people can go for action, and I'm one of them. Action, action, action. Do something, you know? But then there's violence, and oftentimes violence overlaps with the action. Sometimes those are intertwined, sometimes not. But then there's this brutality element, this vicious, dark whatnot that seems to be getting rather popular in movies these days for some reason that needs to go away. But that's what I saw last night. I didn't see a good old-fashioned action film with Arnold Schwarzenegger taking out some bad guys and doing justice, winning the day, whatever, however you want to say it. I just saw some devilish movie that I was like, why am I here? Literally, 20 minutes into the movie, I almost blurted it out loud. I'm like, I'm only sitting here because I paid my money. 20 minutes in, maybe shorter, maybe less time. 20 minutes in, I thought, I've made a mistake coming to see this. This isn't what I was expecting. This isn't what I wanted to see. And contrary to what Michael Keaton said in RoboCop, sometimes people don't know what they want until you show them. I already have a good enough idea of what I want, and this movie wasn't it. Arnold Schwarzenegger, his character is John Breacher Wharton. He's Breacher. All these people have names who are on his team, his DEA drug bust team, but I'll just go with their silly little nicknames that each team member has. Sam Worthington, he's Monster. Joe Manganiello, Grinder. Josh Holloway, Neck. Josh Holloway, is that? Never mind, I don't care. I don't care about it. Terrence Howard as Sugar, and last but far from least, she's the worst one of all, Marielle Innes, not the actor, this character that she played, Lizzie Murray. And that's enough from these people. Directed by David Ayer, written by Skip Woods and David Ayer, if I'm pronouncing Ayer right. This movie just ruined, it really rained, it rained on my picnic, it ruined my day, however you want to say it. I've been having a good streak at the movies lately. I was excited about doing this, have my own little review portion of this multimedia channel, you know, and also the little gameplays, first reactions, impressions, and things like that. And I've seen 11 movies over the past 3 weeks. I'm out of cash. Obviously, I'm going to have to take a break. Now, I hope to see Captain America: The Winter Soldier on my sister's birthday outing, but other than that, I got to take a break now, and I really am hating it that I went out on such a sour note. I wish I had seen. Then again, I won't even say that. That I wish I had seen some of the movies I liked better recently last, but no, this is the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. Noah and this movie, Sabotage, really made me down my little experiment that I'm doing. I wasn't happy. I knew I was going to end up ranting on the movies, but I didn't think I would end up ranting on this one near so much as I have to now. 6 minutes in, here goes. Breacher, Schwarzenegger's character, is the head of this DEA drug bust team. In my earlier rant, I tried to go through as much of the movie as I could remember. It's just the movie is put together, and the cinematography and the sequence of the way they do things left me. I left the theater thinking, okay, who did what again? Who killed who? But the really frustrating thing about this movie is that I didn't care. And I instantly gave up trying to put it together, things that either happened fast or weren't really explained well, if they were explained at all. Because of the way they put the movie together, I was thinking, you know what, I don't even care. And I don't. You know why? And this is the worst thing of all. There are no good guys in this movie. I went to see an action movie. There are no good guys in this movie. And I really hope that there's no one in law enforcement who are anything like, granted this is DEA stuff, but they're still law enforcement. I sure hope there's no team like this, nobody. I know there's bad apples here and they're individuals, but a whole team of people who I want to die? Literally, I have never been to a movie like this before. I have never seen a movie where I wanted every single person who was supposed to be a good guy to die. Even Arnold. At one point I was like, you know what, he could just die randomly on me all of a sudden, and I would think, well, at least that made the movie interesting right there. But even that didn't happen, which I kind of wish it had. I never thought he'd be in a movie quite like this. I mean, I heard online, read some article or something, he wants to defend movie violence, again, maybe the kind of violence I was talking about, action and stuff. He should not try and defend movie violence of this from this movie, because this movie was awful. It really was. There was no light. There was no explaining things. There was no story, no heroism, no nobility, nothing you could root for. No good guy. I'm serious. These are all cops, and there's no good guys. The whole movie is about, in the beginning, they're busting down this crack house mansion, some drug dealer or something, and they're trying to get paid, as they say. I didn't understand the lingo. They bust in on this house, and their superiors are saying, "What's your status? Are you in the money room? How's it going? Is everything okay?" And they're trying to stall them from telling them what they're actually doing. We're taking fire, having to cut through a wall right now. Status in a minute. Get paid means get paid. There's this huge mountain of money. Looks like in Lethal Weapon 2, I guess. Remember those big crates of money in the big Connex? Crates of money. They're putting it in baggies as fast as they can and tying it to a rope. They tear off this toilet, and they were going to hide money that'll float it down into the sewer system in these baggies so it wouldn't get destroyed by the sewer, and then put the toilet back. While they're doing that, they lose a teammate. Some bad guy still in the house comes around the corner, takes him by surprise. Boom! I think the guy gets shot through the neck, and it's like he bleeds out. You don't see him die, but afterwards, like, oh well, he died. They lost that teammate, and you're feeling kind of bad for him. It's just they didn't really. I'll get to it. They were trying to steal the money. They're bad cops. They're not good guys. And I'm looking at this movie. I'm thinking, okay, you all were trying to steal the money. I thought you were there to, whatever. Who knows in real life what they're really up to with all this drug stuff and the laws about it. Another rant for another video, probably on another channel of mine. But anyway, really, while I'm talking about that, they're all interrogated after that because they know their superiors know they took the money. They know they took the money, and somebody's going to confess. We're going to break one of you. They're interrogating them one at a time. The closest thing to humor in the movie, even though it's mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger with the one guy. He's a real heavy guy, and he's saying, "Listen, you got to come clean. You got to come clean." He's like, "Who are you with your 40% body fat and you limp jelly man or whatever?" However he calls him, and you're thinking it's like the SNL skit from. Back in the day, it's like, what am I watching? What am I watching? Is this a comedy? And he storms out of the room, and they each try and break through interrogation, each of the teammates on the DEA team. And one guy used to be a Navy SEAL. He actually quits, saying they're going to keep killing. They're going to keep killing. Talking about the bad guys. They're going to keep killing over these drugs, people in the United States and in Mexico. He cusses them out and says, "I quit." If there's not people like me who to do this stuff. And I'm thinking it, even as I'm watching it, I'm like, you exist, you do whatever it is you guys do, and it's still happening. What do you mean, unless there are people? It's going to keep happening with or without you. It makes no sense. Just like in real life, a lot of that stuff makes no sense to me. Anyway, they are thieves. They are bad guys. They nasty and vulgar, like all get out. And these are supposed to be, I mean, there's no, I'm not looking for purity here in this action movie per se. I'm just looking for this standard, this rule of law, and that there are actual bad guys. No, it seems in this movie like there are bad guys and then there are worse guys. That's the only thing I can way to say it. And the thing that really put me off right from the get-go was at the very beginning of the movie. I had an idea of the kind of movie I got myself into. The movie opens up with a torture scene, so this is one of those movies. It's drug-related, DEA. He's going to be the leader of one of these teams, and now the movie opens with a torture video. You find out later it's his own wife and daughter and son who were like tortured to death in retaliation for some guy that you would think brought to justice, but there is no justice in the movie. A little bit of revenge, but there's no justice. And so, right from the get-go, I was like, oh no, have I come to see one of these movies? I'm not interested in coming to the movies to see one of these movies. And like I said, about 20 minutes in, it was confirmed. I paid my money. I'll sit here and watch the rest of it. But there was nothing. And so what happens is it's like and then there were none type story where they start to be killed. They're demonized, suspended for 6 months. Schwarzenegger, he has a Breacher, Arnold, his character, Breacher, has kind of a desk job, and he's under like house arrest. Well, not house arrest, but there are FBI agents who follow him everywhere, like even into the bathroom and at his home and stuff. Keep an eye on him to see if he took the money or to just you get what I'm saying. They're keeping an eye on him for all that 6 months, and he's been living that way. There's a guy on the inside who works like with him in DEA who's also suspicious of him. One neat scene of the movie where he's trying to he's taunting him a little bit, and Schwarzenegger snatches a gun out of his holster and is like saying, "You can tell him I disarmed you." He puts it in the urinal, flushes it. And I guess it was just one of those, well, he's not going to take that scenes. But at that point in the movie, you're thinking, well, Arnold's a good guy, surely. But as time goes on, you realize, no, it's all nothing. There's nothing in this movie. I'm going to try and speed things up now because I'm almost getting mad at myself. Just wanted to get through this review to... You can say how I feel about this movie. Anyway, they start to be killed. When he gets them back, he goes to his team's little rec room house or whatever. He dumps their badges and stuff out, saying we're back, the team's back, and it's like, what? We're in the clear? And it's like, no, the investigation is just over. They're not breathing down our necks like before. The team is back, but you never know. And that's what his boss had told him. Not that you're in the clear. It's just Washington is tired of trying to get you for this. So in the meantime, nobody else will have you. So here, go do something. This is what you do. So it's like they're going to go back to catching drug dealers again or something. And it's like they're all rusty from having not worked in 6 months, and so when they try and in the little practice runs, like taking a house with all the mannequins who are supposed to be drug dealers or bad guys, like holding hostages, fake hostages and stuff that they don't do well. Arnold comes in and says, "What about this guy?" Opens up the door, and there's a bad guy right there, and is a mannequin in a black mask and stuff. And you know, like if he had an automatic machine gun, he could have just put the door, opened up on all of them, killed them all. He's like, so they failed that. It's like they're really rusty. And he says, "What happened to you guys?" And then Sam Worthington's character, Monster, he says, in private, he gets with him and they have a little talk. He says, "We don't trust each other. How could we?" And it's constantly alluding back to what happened 6 months earlier when they tried to steal that money, but somebody stole it from them in the end. We don't trust each other. And you weren't there. You're the heart and soul of this team, and you weren't there for 6 months and stuff. So Arnold goes out in front of all of them, and the kind of a neat scene in the movie, he says, "I trust you, every one of you, with my life, and I'll prove it. Let's run the test again." And he actually puts himself in the test, and he says, "Don't kill me." And all he does is he goes inside of the house, and he like lays out on the couch with his cigar, hoping that they don't consider him when they come around the corner, like quick scanning for bad guys to shoot and watching their corners and stuff, that they don't shoot him. And they clear the house of all the bad guys, the practice dummies, bad guys. And it's like it was much better than the first time. So he says that's more like it. And you don't actually see them go back to work at whatever they do, trying to track down these crack houses and stuff and seize all the illegal whatnot. They just start dying. They go to a strip club of course, to celebrate their back in actionness, even though they don't do anything in this movie. They just immediately, they get back together and then they start dying. There's no scene of them actually taking down a bad guy after that. And so nasty. You hate them all. And again, I've never seen a movie like this where I was like, I don't care if they live or die. I don't feel for them at all. They're like thugs. They're like the bad guys. And so Terrence Howard, he ends up becoming a pole dancer. So I can do this better than any of you. He gets up there and he's going around the pole. Bouncer comes over and they end up beating up the bouncer and breaking beer bottles and stuff. Anyway, horrible movie. Don't watch it. And so yeah, I just skipped at the end. Don't watch it. That's my review. Then they start dying. And this scene is kind of neat in as much as I don't know if it's ever been done before. I'm not glad the guy died, actually. Even though I didn't care. I honestly didn't care. I was like, okay, well, this is the next thing to happen in the movie. One of the team members, the first one, he lives in his Winnebago. He wakes up. He looks like he was peeing in the sink or something, then washing it down with some beer or something. He sees something coming, a light coming toward him. He realizes it's a train, and he's on a train track. He tries to start the Winnebago, won't crank. He tries to get out of the door, won't open. He's locked in, and he's going, what the F, what the F, what the F? F-word city in this movie. So be prepared if you watch it. I mean, don't watch it. Don't watch this movie. Carson's like, how to get out of here? Yeah, freaking out, and then the train hits it and hits him, drags the Winnebago, shreds it, all torn up down the railroad track, and so is he. And this is the thing that, if the first scene didn't get me, this one did. It was like, this is like a horror movie. Caroline, this DEA, like homicide or something, person in that jurisdiction, what is her name? Olivia Williams plays Caroline, this investigator, and she's walking around putting these little yellow flags on everywhere she can find a piece of the guy, because his body is all shredded, and they actually show a piece here and a piece there. Very gruesome, very graphic. I'm like, is this really necessary? We can get on with the movie. We understand what's happened. And then Schwarzenegger's there, Breacher, asking, this man was one of mine. And again, total just lack of any. She doesn't realize who he is anymore. That just like you don't realize who he is at this point of the movie. It's like he's a big deal, like he's like a legend in DEA or something, taking down so many bad guys over the years or something like that. She didn't realize who he was. She's just there doing her job. Hello, thank you. Investigating this murder. She's collecting evidence and stuff. He says, "Is there anything I can do to help?" And she basically says she kind of a knock against her, really, in as much as she just kind of puts some flags to him and says, "Start marking this evidence with me, all these body parts." And she goes away. He walks away, and he's kind of like nobody cares about each other is the thing. It's like you would think. I mean, I realize cops have got to be used to seeing that kind of thing, dead body here and stuff like that. But especially if you realize that he knew this man, that, show a little. But anyway, he goes on, and that's that scene. And her partner comes over like, "Don't you know who that was?" She's like, "No." It's like she's there trying to investigate this thing, and like they really literally come apart. And this is the thing that come upon this big heap of guts and shrapnel, and I was like, it's like a horror movie, an actual pile of the guy who was torn up in the train. It's like, that's what this movie is. It's a horror movie. It's a horror film. And so they start being killed. She's trying to get answers. She's trying to do actual police work and investigate people and ask questions of the teammates. What do you know? Who do you think might be doing this? Because another person dies, and then the Navy SEAL, they track him down at his house. Breacher tries to warn him because he's off the grid. The guy had literally quit the team. Not just suspended, he quit. And so he wouldn't know this was going on. He's a Navy SEAL, and he's got these guns, and he's got booby traps around his place. And one of them actually gets one of the bad guys, one of the people who come to kill him. But he still gets killed. And one at a time, they get killed. She's trying to find these answers. Nobody wants to talk to her, though, and he doesn't want to open up about things either, which really shows there's nothing to this movie, to be honest, because Sam Worthington's character, Monster, she tries to ask him questions, and he's all like, "You need to just, go away," or "You don't need to step into our world," or this is what you're going to have to deal with and stuff. And it's like she's investigating a murder, more than one, as they're slowly killed. You'd think they would see that somebody's going to kill them and try to help her in her investigation, or themselves try and find out who exactly might be targeting for whatever guy they might have put away in the past and wants revenge, trying to retaliate against all of them. But it's really dumb, if you ask me. The way it's written, the way the characters are. You don't care about anybody. They're just like, get out of here. I don't need to hear that kind of thing. I don't need to see this. You don't care about anybody, and so it really ruins the movie. You kind of care about Breacher, Arnold's character, because it was put in your head at the beginning of the film how something horrible's happened to him. You don't know exactly when or how, but you still they keep you going with him a little while. And so one at a time they're killed, and my brain is fried from trying to remember details, and the fact that I already did this once, and hopefully the audio is fixed now. I know I sound better on the web camera than I do in this microphone. Less nasal voice, but whatever, at least it won't go and get cut off altogether. They're killed one at a time. They turn on each other, and that's how bogus part of this movie is. 2 or 3 times they come back in these silent moments with we're family and we trust each other. They don't give a care about each other, and neither do you. I mean, if you really cared about anybody in this movie, please put it in the comments and say, "Hey, I didn't care about anybody in this film." I'm glad that the Caroline character was trying to do her job, but even the sexual innuendo stuff it's like she sleeps with Breacher, It's like they have feelings one for another. I don't know if that's before or after she realizes his tragic past, when Monster is the one who opened up and finally came forward and let her in on some stuff. And Breacher walked across him right then as he was saying it. He's like, "Get out." He's like, "I'm only trying to help." Told her about what happened to Breacher's family being killed and how it was this bust where they had this huge drug kingpin guy, black bag over his head. They're walking him to the Mexican police, trading him off, putting him into their custody, and all of a sudden, in this small army of Mexican police with SWAT uniforms and machine guns, this woman in the middle, like that, you think she must be in charge, she pulls out a gun, shoots the guy in the head, and then surrenders herself. The Mexican police are freaking out, like, then they have to arrest her, because she's obviously dirty somehow, whether she was bribed or whether she was with the drug, whatever, the drug lord people. And Breacher's team was all like, what in the world? So then they're backing away from their plane. The guy's dead. And Breacher's narrating that little bit of the story to Caroline and saying, but they wanted revenge. They wanted the guy who could get the guy that nobody else could get. Arnold, Breacher, and his team. And so that's what the revenge against his family was about. And how he says they sent pieces of his wife to him over the course of several months and stuff, and just you still don't care about the team. You feel for Breacher, you feel for him a little bit, but what he does just ruins that too, because they're turning on each other, they're killing each other, and again, I don't care. As I left the movie theater thinking, did the character Lizzie, did she kill those early people? Or was it the Guatemalan special forces guys who were hired as hitmen by the Mexican people? Or what? Who did what? Because they're finding bodies and chicken wire and people have been tortured and stuff. But it's like, you don't care. You don't care about what's happening, and you don't understand it because of the way they put the movie together. It's like this mystery up until the end. But because they're so awful, you don't care when you find out that at the end, after, because Monster and Lizzie are kind of an item, not married, no, they're like fiance, I don't know, living together, in sin. And she admits that she's been sleeping with Sugar, Terrence Howard. And then Monster's like, "Oh, you betrayed me." He's attacking Terrence Howard. Nobody acts like this in real life. Well, maybe they do if they're as insane as the people in this movie. She jumps in the car with him. They drive off. "I can't believe you told him that." And it's like, die, please. Play out of the movie, and let's get to the end. Get the mystery solved. Find out who took the money. Find out what's what. And that whole scene when they came together with only 5 of them left, the guy who, what is his name? Joe Manganiello? Grinder's character. Sugar, Breacher, of course, still alive, Monster, and Lizzie. They come together in this scene, and Arnold opens up with this, what's going to happen? Like he doesn't know. Are we just going to die? Are we just going to be killed off? Are we going to kill each other? That whole scene, it's like, why did they meet together? What was that about? I don't even remember. You leave this movie so confused and not caring that it makes it this frustrating thing of, anyway, one of the worst ones of all, Grinder, he actually comes forward saying he's at least willing to rat out the other ones, cooperate fully, and let the other ones hang. Yeah, family, there's a lot of love there, and teamsmanship, and comradeship, and caring about, it's all about the man next to you. Now, all that good stuff is just totally lost on this movie. And no sooner does Caroline say, "We can give you protection," than a bullet goes through his head. And it's Lizzie who has sniped him from some faraway building. And Breacher was just talking about how, we can come through this and we can still do our thing. And Grinder's like, do what? This is what I do. This drug busting stuff, which you don't actually see him bust any drug dealers. At the beginning, they rough up some people in the house, and then they try to steal some of the money, and then they get had later when they go into the wrong house. Or what, I don't even know what that scene was about, when they were trying to play one another off and use Caroline. She's on her way to respond to something, and then they get whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. 30 minutes in, I'm almost done, I promise. So you see that Lizzie sniped Grinder, but then instantly, the way they film it, the way they have it put together, you see Caroline's partner, played by Harold Perrineau, Jackson. His character's name is Jackson. You see him there. Did he snipe him? Was it him? No, it's just an instant, the way they do the movie. It's just instantly this way. You see him down there. Okay, this is where she sniped him. Then they're there talking to this police officer up in the room where Lizzie sniped Grinder from, and this policeman's saying, and Caroline's like all up in her face, like, you just let someone go who you think, she flashed a badge, she was DEA. It's Lizzie, one of the cops, who's bad. She flashed the badge, she was legit, I let her go. What do you want, you know? But Caroline, the character, she's still like, you just let her go, but they have a cell phone, and they have Lizzie's picture. Was it this woman? Yeah, that was her. So they know it was Lizzie who killed Grinder. They're suspecting her. They're going after her. They go to Breacher and Caroline. They go to Caroline and Breacher. They go to Lizzie and Monster's house, where Monster's all like, it's their instant drama of she's back at the house clearing out her things. She's going to run off with Sugar, and Monster's like, You can just leave me like that? You just want to go off with him? You just want to go off and make babies with him? You can actually leave me? You would do this. You're really doing this. And she's like, I forget what she says. All of her dialogue was just nasty. The only thing she said that was really interesting was at the end. I mean, literally, this is how bad these people are. She's got a substance abuse problem bad, whether it's crack or pot, heroin. I don't know drugs, and so I don't know, and I don't care about her problems. It's just Breacher was trying to help her earlier, but when they first get back together after 6 months, the team gets back together, he can tell by the look of her, the way that I guess people can see, like hardcore drug usage, something about her face, the way she needed to do this or that. And she was saying, I thought you were going to use the downtime to help get cleaned up. And she actually says, I'm a big girl, I can take care of myself, go play daddy to someone else. Somebody actually showed a little bit of care. I take it back. Actually showed a little bit of caring, compassion, wanting what's best, what's actually good for somebody. And the teammate, and this is supposed to be a family, just blows them off and get out of my face kind of a thing. So anyway, they're going after Lizzie, and so Lizzie and Martin Monster are in there, and he's threatening. He doesn't want her to leave him, and he's infuriated. She's been cheating on him and stuff, and so he's got the devil eyes, and he's threatening to put her passport down the waste disposal thing, the food disposal, whatever it is. I don't have one. I've just seen them in movies. He's going to shred it, basically. And she's like, don't you dare, because he knows she needs it. She's going to try and jump the country with Sugar. I don't even think Monster knows about the money, because they're suspecting her of taking the money and of killing everybody, or having them killed and killing them, or whatever. I don't even care. I'm not going to go back and try and figure it out. I'm not even going to look at the synopsis there's probably a synopsis on Google of the whole plot of the movie. I don't care. Let me just end this. He puts it down the blender thing, and she jumps all over him. I can't believe. Grabs a knife, cuts him, and he's like in shock, like. And then she's like, "Oh, what have I done?" She's killed him. All of a sudden, he starts bleeding profusely, like she got him in the neck, like jugular or something. He bleeds out. So much blood in this movie, more blood than action, because of all the torture garbage and all just the darkness and brutality. And nothing good, nothing that even looked really good. she stuffs him in the refrigerator. This guy who she supposedly cared about, loved, been living with him this whole time. And let me keep going. Breacher and Caroline get there. They see the place is torn up, like she was just in a hurry to gather her things and get out of there. But then they see the blood seeping out of the refrigerator. And so, open the door, his body's in there. Breacher sees Monster in there, supposedly like a son, more so, I guess, than anybody on the team, all these younger guys or whatever, somebody who was close to him, I guess. He says, I'm going to kill her. He goes out of there. You get to see Caroline freak out for the 4th time at seeing some horribly mutilated body. And so they go together. They're going after Lizzie. They try to play each other. Lizzie calls Breacher like she wants to kill him and he wants to kill her. She's like, I really need to talk. Can we meet? He's like, yeah, I'll meet you at it's like a parking garage. And all this time they were making fun of Caroline, the homicide detective person, trying to say like she's not really, like, she doesn't do the nitty gritty, this dark world drug junk with them, and she can't handle the brutality. All of a sudden, Terrence Cloud, when he's getting shot at by her, is like, who is that? It's Caroline. She's got a shotgun. She's doing her job. She's shooting. So that she turned out to be this action person was really, really nice, considering the way all these idiots had been trying to say. Really, they were just trying to keep her away from anything that she might find out about them, because they're all bad guys. You want to give Breacher the benefit of the doubt up until the end, but it's garbage. And so the whole thing ends with the chase, Breacher and Caroline in a truck going after Lizzie and Sugar. They end up killing some poor person in a car, and then Caroline's like, oh my goodness, they're just killing random bystanders. They know what they're after now. They end up crashing Sugar and Lizzie. You would think, hey, they're going to show us one more gory scene. No, they actually don't show this. But Terrence Howard goes right into this, the back of this, like the kind of pickup truck, not a pickup truck, a tow truck, pickup truck, a tow truck, the kind with the ramp that goes down, little incline to drive up on it, and not just tow it, but drive up on it to transport a vehicle. It's laid down. He ends up being driven right into it, so you know he was killed instantly. Lizzie's all banged up. In the trunk of the car had been shooting at him this whole time. She's all banged up, blood. The way she looked and the way she acted, I give this acting points. The way she acted as someone who's all beat up. That seemed really good as far as acting goes, you know. But Breacher's up on her. And he says, "Why? Why'd you do it?" And she's like, "'Cause they took my money." She's all twitchy and stuff between her drugs and almost dying, and maybe she is dying. You can't see if maybe she's about to die. Who knows? Who cares? This movie's just awful. She's like, they took my money. And then Breacher, he realized she didn't take the money. She's talking like that. He sees that she's about to. He sees her going for the gun. Caroline doesn't. Breacher shoots her dead. And Caroline's like, what was that? Because she didn't see her going for the gun. And Breacher, in yet another mysterioso, not knowing what's going on way, the viewer doesn't, says, just be a good girl and walk away. And then he vanishes Nightcrawler style, or like Azazel or something, and Azazel. And she turns around and is like, where was he? And then her partner's like, he was just here, because by now cops are responding. There are several policemen there. It's like, where'd he go? And he just vanishes into thin air. And so the last scenes of that are of Caroline knowing he's not going to be back, and she's not going to get any answers for any of this and stuff, and not know really what's happened. Final scenes of the movie, Schwarzenegger, Breacher, he's in some bar in Mexico. Oh, I'm sorry, before that, he's in a police station talking like a police chief. This police chief is very like, what are you doing here? I'm not going to tell you anything. Got this very snide little look on his face as Arnold, the Breacher, says, where is he? Where is he? He starts to pile up this money on the table, and you realize, well, Arnold's got the money. It was Arnold. Breacher stole the money that they were trying to steal in the beginning. And all the movie has come to this. He's slowly stacking up this money. You can see in the police chief's face how harder and harder, how much more difficult it's becoming for him to just sit there and not tell him where he is until he finally breaks. He gets this folder out with the guys, and you know who Arnold's after by then. At least that much makes sense. The actual guys who killed his family, who tortured him, and who brutalized him and murdered his family. He's after him. He's going to go kill him. The police chief finally breaks, gives him the folder, the record of the guy, police record. He says, "We never talked. This never happened." So he's $10 million richer. Arnold's got the location of the guy. So the final scene is of Arnold in a bar, scoping the place, looking for the guy. He spots him. He knows there are guys with guns, guys going to protect him and everything. He's basically come up in this joint by himself, like the last scene of the movie is kind of like it would be neat. It would be a neat scene if not for the horrible movie that preceded it for an hour and 45 or 2 hours. I come to think of it now, yeah. He follows him into the bathroom. He spotted him. The guy, you don't know what he's going to do with this woman who's just come into the bathroom with him. You see something in Spanish. I couldn't read it. Like, what is this? Some back room where people do stuff. And so he goes in there after him. He shoves the woman aside. Like, I don't know if he throws her to the ground or not. Backs the guy up against the wall, puts a gun right here. And the guy was so out of it, he didn't even notice the woman that he came in there to do whatever with be thrown down. He's snorting something up his nose, like, like this. And Arnold's got a gun right here to him, and he just says, "You're mine." It's like he finally has him all this time. He hits him with a gun. He puts him down in the urinal or a thing of ice or whatever that was. Who cares? And he says, he's like, he knows who it is. He's like, "Your wife, your family, it was supposed to be something or other. It's just business," or whatever he was saying. He begging for his life or something. I don't even care. I don't remember it. Because this movie makes you not care about it. It wasn't a movie that makes you care about things. There, bingo. I think I finally hit the nail on the head. And Arnold's saying by now a good Arnold one-liner wouldn't even save this movie. And I'm glad they didn't try it. Unless this is their new attempt now. He says, "I could go and kill your family, but I won't. Because I'm not like you." And that's it. And he shoots the guy in the head. He's got his revenge. So yeah, that's what this movie was about. He's got a flashbang, hand grenade, opens the door slightly. He knows some people heard the gunshot. Drops it outside the door, closes the door, bang, walks out. Guys are blinded. Some guys got shrapnel in him. He's shooting people dead. There's like maybe 6 to a dozen bad guys come to kill him. He's shooting them dead. He jumps over a bar with his 60-something-year-old self. Crashes down, reloads just in time to shoot another bad guy, shoot a woman in the head who was trying to kill him with a machine gun, and just shoots them dead, shoots them dead, shoots them dead. People are cowering in the corner. Women who are there are like, they're all ducking under bar stools and in the corners and stuff. There's one guy who can't get his bullets in his gun and his magazine in his gun, and Arnold just lumbers over to him, just shoots him, and that was that. He realizes he's been shot, and this is the way they leave you in the movie. You don't know if was he shot in the heart or not. It looked more like it was more like in the shoulder, and that he's just been wounded. He slumps down in a chair, drinks a little bit, smokes, puff the cigar smoke out, and the movie ends as the music is changed, and it's going to be the ending credits, and he's got this little grin on his face, like release, like freedom, justice time, or but it was so dark that even what little bit of light may have, you see how I keep using these words, darkness and light and stuff, but because that's what I was thinking. This movie is it's just dark and gory, and you don't care about anybody because nobody cares about each other. They don't really care about the law or each other or anything. It's a revenge tale for sure, but so unsatisfying in its execution. It's like, will killing this man really make him happy? He knows in the world that he lives that he's just one of countless. He's just after the guys who tried to. It's like they leave you thinking it's just one little story among many in this dark little world. But as far overall, my thoughts on the movie are: don't watch it. It's that bad, and it's the kind of stuff that'll just cause you. It'll gum up the works in your mind. It might even cause you to be, I'm not saying it'll confuse you, but I'm just saying this is the kind of thing I was talking about in my rant on 300 Rise of an Empire, even though I just called it a rambling review and not a rant, that there's some imagery that's just, it's not even action like Survivors of War movie. There's going to be a lot of action and violence and even maybe some scenes of something kind of extreme, some intense imagery as far as wounds and stuff. This movie gives you nothing. It's horrible. You don't care about anybody. There are no heroes. There's nobody to care about. The overall story of revenge is all just horrible. Revenge itself, it's just this dark thing, and you're left with nothing. I can't go on. You already know what I think about it. This has been my 46 minutes. That's all. This has been my rant on Sabotage. I was hoping for some Arnold action on par with, I guess, the glory days of old when he would do something. It's an R-rated movie, so you know it's going to be bad. It's just, he was in an R-rated action movie years ago, well put together, called True Lies and other things that just, it was memorable. The only thing about this movie that's memorable is that pile of guts, because that, when I think about this movie, that's all I can see. The body nailed to the ceiling with all the blood, and the woman slipping in it and getting blood all over herself, and it's just, that's all there is to this movie. It's just a gore fest, and I'm very glad that it is bombing, because there's nothing to this film. It's not a good film, not a good action film, not a good suspense, not a good mystery. It's just bad, and so I gotta leave off with that. Thanks for watching my rant on Sabotage, but I really hope Arnold does some more good stuff. I do, but not like this. Till next time. Hey YouTube, this is David again. Just a quick little addendum, correction, whatever, to my Sabotage rant. I was driving along in my truck on the way home just now, and I was thinking about this dumb movie again, and I remembered, you know what? Those two were married. Monster and Lizzie. Ugh. And also another thing. I know I misspoke myself, and I didn't care enough to actually correct the video in any way. But when it was Monster who narrated that little story and told the character Caroline about Breacher's family and what this most likely is about, them being targeted and killed. And I accidentally said it was Breacher, I think, who was telling the story. But then I said it was Breacher who came upon them while Monster was telling her, and he's like, get out of here, don't talk about that. But anyway, it was Monster. And the fact that those two were married in that movie, if they were, because I remember there was this scene like, it's another trash bag moment, because they're up in the rec room and Lizzie was saying something, they're talking nasty, talking dirty, trying to one-up each other, almost seem like they're trying to start a fight with each other with one of the first guys to get killed, one of their first teammates.
he says something that, and who knows what's appropriate and what's not. All of a sudden, Monsters, hey man, that's my wife. Like something that the guy said crossed whatever line they have of, hey, don't talk like that. So there was that scene. I remembered it like, hey, that's my wife. So I guess they were married. But the fact that they were married, and considering what happens in the movie, it makes the movie that much worse on more than one level and more than one thing that I'm gonna even talk about here. This is just a quick little. Sorry that I said they were just living together when apparently they were married. Those two characters in the movie. So anyway, just wanted to correct that because it was just one of those things that was starting to eat at me that I had said that wrong. Even though the other one wasn't such a big deal, that one I should have said that right. So I just wanted to put this little video out there, and now I'm free. Not going to be talking about this movie anymore. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next little movie review. Thanks.